Hola, clase. Now we're going to take a look at the stem changing verbs in the present tense, of course, because that's what we're reviewing. Stem changing verbs, they stem change either E to IE or O to UE. Let's take a look at those now. And if you remember, stem changing verbs deviate, right, from the normal pattern of regular verbs. Remember, you would drop off the infinitive ending and you would get the stem. However, with stem changing verbs, within the stem, you're going to change it. Change that stem. Some of the verbs will go E to IE, some of them will go to O to UE. For example, the verb empezar. Empiezo, that's the yo form only. We'll see the other forms in a minute. Volver, vuelvo. So now here we have the verb empezar. Remember, empezar means to begin. There it is right there. And its stem changes E to IE. But not in every person. Remember, nosotros, vosotros will not have the stem change. So Señor Maresca and other teachers like to consider these verbs that stem change as boot verbs because they're going to stem change in the yo to él, ella, usted, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes. And there is the boot right there. I'll go around like this. Boom. That's the boot right there. While the nosotros, vosotros will not stem change. So we have empiezo, empiezas, empieza, empezamos, empezáis, empiezan. And likewise with the verb volver. Volver also will stem change. But this one stem changes O to UE. Volver means to return. A famous love song in Spanish. Volver, volver, volver. But remember, nosotros and vosotros will not have that stem change. So here we go. We have the yo to él, ella, usted, and ellos, ellas, ustedes, where the stem change occurs. This is the famous boot verb. And there it is right there. It looks like a boot. Nosotros, vosotros, they're outside of the boot. Some people like to call it the shoe verbs. People that stem change live inside this shoe. People that don't stem change, like nosotros, vosotros, they live out on the street. So, vuelvo, vuelves, vuelve, volvemos, volvéis, vuelven. So, clase, within our textbook, Descubre, remember what descubre means. You will know if a verb stem changes because in the dictionary or other parts of the text, you're going to have in parentheses E to IE, O to UE, and we also have one more stem changing group, that's E to I, and that's coming up in another video. I'll explain that to you. It's very, very similar, but it uses different verbs. So, clase, here is a list of very, very common stem-changing verbs in Spanish. Here's a great group right here. So, E to I, we have cerrar, comenzar. Comenzar and empezar can be used interchangeably. It's up to you. Señor Maresca likes to use empezar. How about you? But we also have entender, pensar, perder, and then we have preferir and querer. Remember, these two verbs can also be followed by an infinitive like prefiero leer. Querer also. No quiero leer. They could be followed by the infinitive. Then we have O to UE, almorzar, contar. Very good verb right here, contar. Because I will be asking you every week, cuenten las tarjetas. Dormir, you know dormir, favorite activity of all of you. Encontrar, mostrar. Then we have poder. Si se puede, si se puede. Don't forget this famous expression. Si se puede. A lot of times it's followed by the infinitive. Now don't forget the verb jugar. Jugar also will stem change, and its stem changes the U to UE. Okay, U to UE. Jugar is followed by the preposition a Then the definite article when the name of the sport or game is mentioned. Remember, jugar is to play a sport or a game. Tocar is to play an instrument, not a sport. To play an instrument is tocar. And also tocar means to touch, too. So there it is. So it's juego, juegas, juega, jugamos, jugáis, juegan. I'm sure you know jugar. Here's an example right here. Oye, Maite, ¿por qué no jugamos al fútbol? Alex y el joven juegan al fútbol. Here's another very important item to remember. Comenzar and empezar, which mean the same thing, to begin or to start, whenever they're followed by an infinitive, like we are going to start studying, it uses the preposition a. For example, comienza a jugar a las 7. Or Ana empieza a escribir una postal. And here's another verb that takes the infinitive, class A, and that's pensar. Pensar is a fantastic verb. When followed by an infinitive, it means to plan or intend to do something. Like, ¿piensan ir al gimnasio? Are you all planning to go to the gym? But pensar en means to think about something. ¿En qué piensas? ¿En qué piensas? Las Javieritas piensan en las vacaciones. They are thinking about vacation. Muchas gracias, señoritas. That's our review of stem changing verbs. Nos vemos en clase.